Thank you, Scout Dalton Drummond from Troop 82. The reveille call that you just heard starts the scouting day at many scout camps like Moses Scout Reservation and Chesterfield Scout Reservation. Now that I have your attention, we will proceed with our opening. Welcome. My name is Chase Tebow. I am an Eagle Scout with Troop 776, chartered to Munson United Methodist Church. It's great to see so many people at our Distinguished Citizens Award ceremony. We now have over 110 million alumni. We have a proud tradition, and I've asked some of my scouting friends to join me as I reflect on my scouting experiences. I joined Cub Scouts in the first grade as a Tiger Cub and had a great time with my parents learning new things and making new friends. I then advanced as a Bobcat and Wolf and raced Pinewood Derby cars. I went to a great day camp at Moses Scout Reservation and earned lots of pins and badges. In third grade, I became a Bear Scout and had a fantastic den leader. I bet many people in this room still remember their den leaders. I really enjoyed helping others with service projects like planting trees and shrubs or collecting food as a part of the Scouting for Food project. As a fourth grader and a Weeblo Scout, I enjoyed resident camp at Moses Scout Reservation. I really enjoyed my Cub Scout days and even made time for baseball, swimming, and basketball. My parents supported my scouting endeavors because they believe that scouting shaped lives through citizenship training, leadership development, character building, and personal fitness. When I crossed over to Boy Scouts, I had new leaders, lots of outdoor activities, and opportunities to earn merit badges. It was a fantastic experience. I had the lofty goal of becoming an Eagle Scout, and even though it was difficult at times, the badges were tough, and juggling sports and school activities made my schedule pretty wild. I did the best I could. Sometimes money was tight, but in scouting, we do our best to earn our own way, and in the long run, we're a better person for it. I sold my popcorn to earn my own way to Philmont Scout Ranch in New Mexico. I owe a lot to scouting, and I will really cherish this chapter of my life, including earning the Eagle Scout Award. I know that I will always be an Eagle Scout. Also on stage are 4 of our nearly 100 explorers. These young adults are getting hands-on education in a variety of career fields. We have some great explorer posts sponsored by experimental aircraft associations, ambulance squads, fire departments, and police departments, and even a veterinarian post. A couple of our venturers have joined us as well. Venturing is a co-ed program for young men and women 13 through 20 years of age. Venturing's purpose is to prepare young people to become responsible and caring adults. I am an example of the people you see before me, but there are many more where I come from. Over 7,000 here in Western Massachusetts. If I were to have a bucket list, I would have accomplished a lot. We believe in the programs of scouting. We are well-rounded and are becoming productive citizens in this great country. Well, there you have it, a snapshot of scouting. But all these things, the programs, camps, and leadership development courses come at a price. It costs money to maintain our camps and service centers, employ the best staff, and do all the good deeds Scouts are known for. Our 7,000 members are served by 10 full-time staff members that provide service to our 2,100 volunteer leaders. Your contributions help make this possible, and we are indebted to you by your generosity. Please rise for the presentation of colors. Color Guard, present the colors. The United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Nick Aubie of Cub Scout Pack 1849, chartered to the Moose Family Center in Chicopee. Please remain standing for the Scout Oath, Law, and Invocation. Here to lead us in the oath and law is Ed McLevy from Troop 338.
We know that the scouting program has shaped the lives of many in our community. Each week, thousands of Boy Scouts recite the Scout Oath and Law as a standard by which to live. Would everyone join me in saying the Scout Oath followed by the Scout Law? The Scout Oath. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout Law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong mentally awake, and morally straight. The Scout Law. A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
Now venturer Ashley DeLeon, president of the Venturing Officers Association of Western Massachusetts Council and a member of Venture Crew 303 chartered to the Knights of Columbus 1721 of South Hadley, will give our invocation.
The 12th point of a Scout law, a Scout is reverent, meaning that a Scout should be faithful to his or her religious duties and respectful to the beliefs of others. Heavenly Father, today we give thanks for many things. The dedicated adults who play a positive and important role in our growth into adulthood. Our ability to make choices so that one day we will reach for the stars and beyond and aimed for our highest goals in life. We are grateful for the knowledge granted to us that our bodies may be nurtured and strengthened so that we will live healthy, productive lives in service to home, family, community, and country. The important leaders like those here today who have given personal and professional resources to help us become people of character. Our board members, Scouts, and our generous donors for the impactful mark they leave on Scouting. We pray for all the good things in life, for friends, for family, for this food, for the time together. Amen.
Thank you, Ashley, for those inspiring words. Everyone, please be seated. I'm excited to have the opportunity to join you today in support of a program that has done so many great things for me and the youth of our community, as well as the community as a whole, the Boy Scouts of America. We have a few purposes for tonight's program. Of course, we are here to raise the funds needed to allow the Boy Scouts to grow and provide a great program for more youth. Second, this is our opportunity to tell you some of the outstanding things that Scouting is doing in the area and how it shapes leaders. Finally, we have the pleasure of presenting the Distinguished Citizens Award. My friends and I would like to join you for dinner this evening. If you have an open spot at your table, please let us know. Now please enjoy your dinner.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Good evening. I realize everyone is not quite finished with your dinners, and so you can proceed eating, but out of respect for the schedule, and David's very, very timely. He was pointing to his watch. He said, it's 8 o'clock. We need to get underway. It's my delightful pleasure to greet all of you this evening and welcome you to the Western Massachusetts Council's Distinguished Citizens Award Dinner. My name is Gene Cassidy, and I'm serving as your chairman and master of ceremonies for this evening's event. Our sincere thanks go out to the opening ceremony coordinators, Mr. Jim Burke and Andrew Dufault, and all of the Scouts of the Western Mass Council for that fine and impressive opening ceremony. Before I proceed with some heartfelt expressions of gratitude to the many people who made this evening a success for the Western Mass Council's Scouting program, I wanted to get the attention of all the young people in the room, the young folks in formation, the Scouts. So Scouts, you can't continue to eat. You need to pay attention to me for a moment. Everybody else, you can proceed. Tonight's festivities are about each of you. They're about every Scout, all the Cubs, the Tenderfoots, the Stars, the Eagle Scouts, the Explorers, Adventurers, And they're also about the moms and the dads, the grandmoms and grandpas, the brothers and sisters, the aunts, uncles, and friends who help you with your commitment and discipline to scouting and to life. Tonight, you're going to hear from distinguished citizens past and present. You'll hear from a decorated war veteran Eagle Scout. And you should look to see who is in attendance this evening. You'll see parents and friends and business people, company founders, owners, presidents, managers. You'll see teachers and workers and volunteers, all of whom are here to celebrate you, the Scouts. For the next few minutes, while I extend thank yous to a number of people, I want each of you in formation and scouting to look around the room. I want you to see something that I think is consequential. I want you to see all of the people that I just mentioned, the parents, the grandparents, the friends, the business people, who are here honoring you for your commitment as a young citizen and your commitment as a scout, honoring you as a person of great value, a person who is developing great values that will propel you through your life and make this world a better place for all who are in it. I'd like to give you an applause. Okay, Scouts, you can continue eating. So thank all of you for being here this evening and for making the 2013 Distinguished Citizens Award Dinner a resounding success. Tonight, our community has once again demonstrated their strong support. We have more than 500 people in attendance this evening, and it's truly exciting to be a part of this very important event. And as is the case for every successful undertaking, the credit goes to many people. To make this dinner successful, more than 600 people committed to filling this room with supporters of the youth we serve through scouting in the Western Massachusetts Council. On behalf of the more than 9,200 youth and adult leaders being served annually by this council in Western Mass, thank you. Thank all of you. This is a moment for all of the vice chairmen, the table coordinators, the table hosts, and the council's new executive director, David Cruzy, to stand up and receive our appreciation. All of your hard work paid off. Thank you. It was a big commitment and a great undertaking, and I appreciate all of your efforts, as do all of the young people in scouting. At this time, it's my pleasure to call forward the 2012 Distinguished Citizen Honoree, Mr. Chris Mensing, to present the 2013 Distinguished Citizen Award. Chris was recognized last year for his longstanding commitment to community involvement, his strong leadership, and dedicated service to others. Chris is the president, as you know, and the CEO of the AAA of Pioneer Valley. He's a great friend to scouting and the Western Massachusetts Council. Chris.
Thank you very much, Gene. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for your support of this great organization. It's my distinct pleasure this evening to introduce to you Mike Maddie, this year's recipient of the Boy Scouts of America Western Massachusetts Council Distinguished Citizen Award. I first met Mike last year at this same event. What first struck me about him was that he had absolutely no interest at all in organized sports. Here we are in sports-assessed New England, and he couldn't tell you the name of a single player for the Celtics, Bruins, Red Sox, or Patriots. And it was ironic that at last year's dinner, who does Mike sit next to? Vince Wilfork of the Patriots. Which leads me to the second thing that struck me about Mike. He is a very interesting person and can build a rapport with anyone. Proof of this was that Vince and Mike sat together last year and had a meaningful conversation while neither of them had a clue as to who each other was. Mike joked that he was the only student ever to attend Penn State University and never attend a single football game. Mike grew up in Milford, Connecticut with his brother Billy, quoting from a very nice article about him in last week's Reminder, where he attributed his love of the outdoors from his time as a Cub Scout. I quote, "My love of the outdoors is deep-seated. The experience with the Cub Scouts taught me always to be ready and prepared." Mike went to Penn State University, where he received an undergraduate and graduate degree in economics. After college, he began his career as a management trainee in the investment department of Phoenix Home Life, and eventually became vice president of investments at Phoenix Investment Council. In 1995, he and his wife Jeannie established Capital Reflections, an independent firm supplying investment research and stock recommendations to institutional investors and mutual fund managers. And in 1999, he joined St. Germain Investments, where he serves as the president and head of the firm's investment policy committee. Mike is both a chartered financial analyst and a certified financial planner. This is mandatory, I got to go through all this stuff. Mike is involved with the Springfield Museums at the Quadrangle, served on the boards of Bay Path College, the Hatifa Holocaust Education Center, and the Springfield Public Forum. Both Mike and St. Germain support several organizations locally by encouraging employee involvement and participation in WGBY, Dress for Success, Big Brothers Big Sisters, March of Dimes, and Junior Achievement. Mike also served as the honorary chair of the Western Mass Council Scouts' highly successful Over the Edge rappelling event. He has two daughters, Emmeline, who goes by Emmy, who currently lives in Florida, and Siobhan, who lives locally and works at XL Dryer, Dennis Gagnon's company in East Long Meadow. Siobhan is here tonight along with Mike's father, Bill, and his stepmother, Sue, who's sitting over here. So if we give them a round of applause. There you are. Siobhan gave me some background information, so I'd like to read just a little bit of what she wrote. Mike has many hobbies, in fact, too many to name. He also has many skills that are mostly all self-taught. He loves music, especially The Who. I've been to several Who concerts with him, as well as Tommy when it was released on Broadway. I was only 5 years old. He has encouraged us to learn about music, and regardless of whether or not we were interested, would educate us on the background, context, and interpretation of many songs. Plays the harmonica and the guitar. He is incredibly knowledgeable about a multitude of practical tasks. He enjoys woodworking and has created beautiful pieces of art. When I've asked, "Where did you learn how to do this?" he often replies that he has learned by trying. He always takes time and is patient as he teaches himself how to complete tasks, especially when they are important to him. He generally suggests that you don't know what you are capable of until you try to accomplish it. Truer words have not been spoken. All who know Mike know of his impressive accomplishment, having climbed the highest mountain on each continent in the world, also known as the Seven Summits. Behind me on the screens in the corners here are pictures of Mike on each of the 7 summits. He belongs to an elite group of only 326 people who have scaled all 7 mountains. More people have traveled into outer space than have scaled these peaks. When I talked to him about this accomplishment, I quickly realized I was talking to a world-class athlete. Mike originally set off to scale just one of these peaks, Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa, in 2007, because, as he said, he wanted to climb something higher than the mountains in New England. After Kilimanjaro, he was hooked, and his quest to scale the remaining 6 summits began. To get in shape for these treks, Mike would make Friday trips up to Mount Washington, strap on 40-pound backpack, and hike up and down the mountain in around 5 hours. The average person without 40 pounds on their back will do the same trip in about 7 to 8 hours. To prepare his body for the conditions on these mountains, he slept in an enclosure that reduced the amount of oxygen available to breathe in order to simulate the conditions he would face at altitudes in excess of 5 miles high. He's extremely disciplined and routinely gets up before dawn to exercise, only to do it all over again after work. Siobhan went on to write about her father. "When I first brought my boyfriend to our house to be introduced, Dad was in a tree rappelling. I'm certain that my boyfriend thought it a little unusual, that his girlfriend's father was waving at him from the top of a tree, and he was probably ready to head for the door. Dad slept in hammocks and tested equipment thoroughly. As my mom can attest, the preparation for the 7 summits was demanding, to say the least. He sacrificed numerous weekends to go to Mount Washington to prepare, often with his close companion, Jake, a Brittany Spaniel, which helped him to adapt to the ever-changing conditions on the mountain. He encouraged all of us to hike with him, as he did with his employees, as he planned company trips and weekends at Mount Washington. As is evident with his success on Everett, he perseveres to accomplish tasks, going to great lengths to do so, and is dedicated to each venture. He also provides his employees with an unparalleled opportunity for success. If employees express an interest in learning, he will provide them with the opportunities to learn. The opportunity to learn empowers his employees. Mike fulfilled his dream when he scaled Mount Everest, the highest mountain in the world, in May 2011. So without further ado, I would like to introduce this interesting person to you as the proud recipient of the 2013 Distinguished Citizen Award, Mike Matty.
Well, Everest was 2 years ago, and I'm tired from just climbing the stairs up here today. So, thank you for coming, everybody. There's a lot of friends of mine here, and past recipients here, and coworkers here, and family here, and I really appreciate everybody coming out tonight. And as I mentioned in the reminder article the other day, when they asked me how does it feel to be this year's recipient, I'm honored. What else could I be? As president of St. Germain, a company with 90 years in the local community, we try to do our best to support as many local endeavors as possible. But nobody does it on their own, myself included. As Isaac Newton said, if I've seen a little further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants. In my case, standing on the top of Everest also might have helped me see a little further, but there's many people behind me that are responsible for the recognition I've been honored with today. First of all, I've got all the wonderful folks that work with me at St. Germain. Virtually everybody within our company is involved in the board of something, fundraising, just some sort of local activity within the community, and they put in a lot of effort to those things. And I think that's one of the reasons why I get recognized, is because of all the work that they do. So thank you, everybody. I really appreciate everything you do. They're really a terrific group of people to work with. I've always maintained that we have a staff of employees at St. Germain that could easily be working in Boston or New York, but they all enjoy the local lifestyle that they can get here in Western Massachusetts, so they all choose to work here. Typically, they all started at big companies and decided they'd much rather live out here. Secondly, as Chris mentioned, I have my daughter Siobhan here. Siobhan's always been my biggest fan. Siobhan, I hope you've enjoyed the many hours we spent swimming in the pond when you were a kid, climbing up Mount Washington in windstorms, and hopefully you'll gain some more appreciation for those things as you get a little older, because I know some of them weren't that much fun at the time. I'd also like to thank my brother and my mom. They're not here tonight, but they'd be proud to be here, and wanted to thank them for everything. They're represented here tonight, however, by my dad and my stepmom. Dad, I'd like to say how proud I am of you for fulfilling the role of being one of the giants in my life. And although there may have been times when my weight standing on your shoulders was a little much, I really do appreciate it. I'm going to stray from the script a little bit. David tries to keep everybody on a very tight schedule, but I'm going to take an extra 30 seconds. Dad, if you could stand up. I stand in front of groups of people, and I talk about Everest, I talk about investing and so on, and I get all the applause. Don't give me any applause at the end if you don't want to, but I'd like everybody to give him the round of applause right now. Thank you. When I was a boy in Cub Scouts, my dad helped me build my Pinewood Derby racer. I remember building it in the basement. It was a cool little car with an awesome blue paint job. Then, of course, we went to the Pinewood Derby race. All the other Cub Scouts were there, and I thought for sure I was going to win, and I didn't. It was one of those disappointments in life that makes an 8-year-old boy have to hold back tears at the time. And you have to learn how to accept that defeat gracefully, which is one of the lessons you learn. But I'm happy to announce, Dad, in light of today's awards, the Scouts have provided me with this really cool Pinewood Derby Racer kit. Some of the Scouts have given me some tips, and they're going to give us an opportunity to try again if you want. The Scouts provided me with that disappointment, but I recovered, and my outdoor ambitions the Scouts helped inspire have served me well in life. More importantly, the Scouts here locally in this community now provide that same inspiration to thousands of boys around here, building self-confidence and reliance. Most won't go on to climb Everest as a result of that, but I think that self-confidence that it helps them build will help them with jobs, family, and the community. And hopefully some of the Scouts that are here tonight may be the distinguished citizen recipients down the road. What I like to mention to people is, these are Scouts who are here in our community. Again, I've been in this community now for a long time. We do an awful lot to try to help the community. Anything we can do to help these Scouts in the community is really beneficial to us in the long term. Again, it's our businesses, families, and communities we're talking about. They're our future. It's a wonderful organization, and I thank everybody here for supporting them.